Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, take a seat, relax, hope you enjoy the show. Yeah, because tonight we're going to look at some weird, strange, bizarre books. So stay tuned. Okay everyone, so yeah, I've been meaning to shoot this video for quite some time. As some weird recommendations for horror readers. And yeah, it turns out that the week of Weird is coming back in September. So I saw a couple of videos, announcement videos the other night. So yeah, this is perfect timing, people. And yeah, the week of Weird is a wonderful event hosted by, co-hosted by Crystal from fiberartsy and Jason from JasonsWeirdReads. So I'll link their awesome channels down below. And yeah, check out the week of Weird. It's always a fun time. And so yeah, I've also found a book. Well, I had a book imported called The Weird. Ain't that cool? Huge thick book full of short stories. So yeah, I'm definitely going to dip into this for the week of Weird. So check it out. Okay, so this video is going to contain a couple of short stories, a novella, and then two longer novels at the end. And not all of them meet with the traditional kind of weird, cosmic horror, Lovecraftian thing. Oh, and by the way, Lovecraft's not going to be on here. I'm going to link a video towards the end, so you can check that out, where I talk about Lovecraft and my favorite Lovecraft stories. But yeah, I decided to choose different authors. But yeah, so there's going to be two or three that are more traditionally Lovecraftian, weird, cosmic horror. And there's going to be a new weird story. And then I'm going to include a story that is kind of demented. A novel that is demented and bizarre and off the rails completely, which I loved. And I'm going to include that at the end. Yeah. Okay, the first short story I'm going to talk about is The Last Feast of Harlequins. And this is taken from Grimscribe, His Life and Works. That's by Thomas Ligotti. I haven't finished this whole book yet, but yeah, I'm planning to get to it. But the one I have read so far, in fact I've read more than one, and this particular story, people, is chilling, freaking brilliant. And it's very much an ode to Lovecraft. It's got a first person narrator. He's this anthropologist, and yeah, he studies clowns. He's interested in clowns on a personal level and on a professional level. And also in this story, it's a first-person narration, just like with a lot of Lovecraft stories. So you're inside the character's head, and it's kind of intimate, inside his brain, and so you're experiencing what he's going through, the anxiety. And in many cases with all of Lovecraft stories, almost like a descent into madness and terror. And yeah, in this particular story, he goes to towns around the country, and he goes to clown festivals. And in many cases he dresses up as clowns as well, as to find out what's going on. And he goes to this very odd town, this very strange town. He's holding a festival, and the clowns there, I don't want to say too much, I don't want to give it away, but they're two different kind of clowns. So sort of the one type is the guy that you see up at the top there, kind of pallid, pale face, mouth stretched in a O. And yeah, then you got the kind of more normal kind of clowns. But things are very, very weird. And it's almost like a festival within a festival. And it gets more disturbing as you read it. And it gets more strange, more weird. And it really builds up to like kind of a terrifying climax. And it's something that Lovecraft could possibly write. But brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I highly recommend Last Feast of Harlequins. And this book, Thomas Ligotti's a genius. Okay, next up we got The Willows by Algernon Blackwood. My people, I read this a long time ago and it blew me the hell away. Such a powerful story, short story. And yeah, it's about these two friends. and they're experienced canoeists, and they go canoeing down the stretch of this Danube River, very isolated stretch. You get the feeling that something's wrong there. They shouldn't be there. And there's inclement weather, there's high winds, and they're forced to take shelter. And they end up camping on this little island, tiny little island surrounded by willows. And yeah, the encroaching water. And what I love about the story is that the nature surrounding these two men is like kind of personified. It's like kind of a terrifying quality, menacing, threatening them. And even when they're trying to go to sleep at night, or when the light starts getting a bit darker, they feel that the willows are coming closer and watching them. And it is just so menacing. The atmosphere is so well done. The writing is exquisite. And it builds people. It builds to this terrifying climax, this cosmic horror. And yeah, I love the story. And actually what makes it even more potent for me is that I'm an ex-field guide, and I spent a lot of my life in camping out in the bush. And yeah, for 2 years I was a field guide. This really worked for me, the whole natural aspect of it, and that nature can be a threat, and a terrifying threat. So I highly recommend the short story. Not going to take much of your time, and that is Willows by Harlequins Blackwood. Yeah. Okay, next up we got the Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Lavelle. And yeah, this horror novella is a response, certainly not a tribute, but it's a response to H.P. Lovecraft and his more infamous work. Misogynist is one way of saying it, and that's Horrid Red Hook. Yeah, and so this is a response, sort of a retelling, but through the eyes of a black protagonist. And in this case it's Tom. Now Tom is a hustler, he's a con man, he lives in Harlem. I think it's in 1922, maybe the same as during the Lovecraft tale. And yeah, he's living there with his dad, who's, as far as I remember, yeah, he can't work, he's stuck at home. And he goes out into the white suburbs and he delivers stuff. I think he delivers only occultic sort of stuff, mysterious deliveries. I can't remember, but anyway, the one thing he does deliver, when he does do an occult delivery, I think it's an occult text, to this home deep in the white suburbs, things get very, very weird. And oh yeah, there's a big theme here of police and police brutality, maybe. So yeah, he goes into the white suburbs, and further he goes, he gets in trouble, he gets robbed at one stage, he gets a strange benefactor in this home, and yeah, things get very, very weird and Lovecraftian. And towards the end there's a lot of body horror, it's cosmic horror, and it ended up being a fun read, a really good read. And also, yeah, I wish it could have been perhaps a novel, because characters were kind of meh, and they needed a little bit thin. They needed to be kind of fleshed out a little bit, because at some point I didn't really care. But Tom was interesting, but some of the other ones not so much. So yeah, could have made a good novel. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, I recommend it. Read it. That's Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Lavelle. Okay everyone, so I've done a full review of this next book, which I'll link at the end, along with Lovecraft. And this is classified as New Weird. And this is Perdido Street Station. This is by China Mayville. And yeah, this book is like a very interesting blend of science fiction, fantasy, perhaps urban fantasy, horror, weird fiction. Yeah, all kind of molded together to create this very rich, very imaginative tale. And yeah, what's it about? So basically you got this city, which is almost a character in itself, the way it's described. It's dark, foreboding, dangerous, also strangely beautiful. But yeah, you got this outsider, this half human, half bird creature, who comes into the city because he's got a broken wing. It's got a broken wing. I can't remember the name of the creature. I think it's Perdido or something. No. But anyway, there's this mad scientist in the city. He's brilliant. He's kind of a loner in terms of the things that he's working on. But this half man, half bird goes to this scientist because he wants to learn to fly again, no matter what the cost. Oh yeah, the scientist takes him on, takes the project on, and starts experimenting with different things. And all I can say is that things go very wrong, and then it sets off one thing after another, and yeah, so shit hits the fan, I would say. But this is full of amazing characters. In the city, humans, half-breeds, magical creatures, mutants. There's a lot of danger, there's a lot of magic in this book, and a lot of action as well. And I don't really want to say too much more. If you want a full review, check at the end of this video, but I highly recommend this book. The writing is brilliant, world building is brilliant, settings crazy, and yeah, I love the magical variety of different characters and creatures in this book. Some serious imagination here at work. So, Perdido Street Station. Okay, so the final book that I'm going to talk about, it's bizarre, people, it's twisted, it's demented, and it's a Pilo family circus by Will Elliott. And yeah, I want to just read something very quickly before I talk about it. This is taken from Goodreads, and I just love the way they describe the circus, so bear with me. So, you have 2 days to pass your audition. Let me background to that. So you got this character called Jamie, and he is just a normal guy. Well, some might say he's a bit of a loser, but he doesn't want to cause trouble. He wants to fly under the radar, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and he's living with a flatmate who's a bit of a stoner. And one day he's out there in his car, and he comes across these clowns doing no good. And they drop something. They drop a bag full of something that's white inside the bag. Cocaine? Probably not. But anyway, he takes off with it, which turns out to be the biggest mistake of his life. Because these clowns come back and start hounding him, and they give him 2 days for the audition. You're going to smile, you're going to make us smile, you're going to be part of our circus. So let me read this for you. Delivered by a trio of psychotic clowns. This ultimatum plunges Jamie into the horrific alternate universe that is the Pilo family circus. A borderline world between heaven and hell, from which humankind's greatest tragedies have been perpetrated. Yeah, everything. Yet in this place, peopled by the gruesome, grotesque and monstrous, Jamie finds that his worst enemy is himself. That's because Jamie is now a clown, and he's a nice guy. But when he puts on the white clown powder, he becomes JJ, the vicious clown, the worst, most terrifying, vicious clown in the world, in the circus. Really murderous, vicious. And the thing about JJ, he wants Jamie dead. So it's a case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And yeah, this book is warped. It's trippy. There's all sorts of stuff that happens in this book. Yes, the psychotic clowns. One of the clowns is kind of gentle but not there. Is in love with a fern. Literally, they becomes a fiance, and the other clowns have to be sympathetic towards us. I don't want to give too much away, but this place is absolute madhouse. Absolute madhouse. And there's trapeze artists, you know, kind of there's the whole crew that are also very violent and very twisted. And I don't want to give too much more away, people. You've got to go in there to discover these pleasures for yourself. I do want to say one thing. There is one character that eats, and if you want to know what he eats, it's not popcorn, then you can ask me in the comments down below. Otherwise, discover it for yourself. Just, you know, discover it for yourself. But beware of trigger warnings, because this book is freaking demented in some places. Yeah, but a lot of fun. I laughed my ass off at some places, because pitch black humor that runs between the horror and the weird imagery and this stuff. And yeah, it's very well written. It's actually an Australian book, yeah, written by an Australian author. And check it out. It's a Pilo family circus. Yeah. Okay everyone, so that's my video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. Got some recommendations for weird stuff. And let me know if you've read any of those down in the spaces below. If you got any good recommendations for me. And I actually plan to do this as like a part 1 or part 2. I'm going to do another one later on in the month. I decided to do 5 now. Just energy levels are a bit low, right? So I'll do another 5 later on in the month. But yeah, please talk to me in the spaces below. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, give me a like and subscribe. That'll help me out. But everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Take care of yourselves. Keep those pages turning. And cheers.